Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont. Some of you may have heard that Xbox and Microsoft have recently made a major announcement, and that's that they're going to start releasing what are considered Microsoft or Xbox exclusive titles on competing consoles. The PlayStation is going to be receiving certain games like Forza. Um, I don't remember what the other game they said. This has widely been regarded as a bad move by most people. But I'll get into the logistics of that right now, or well, not right now, in a little bit. I've got this article from TechCrawler. Former PlayStation exec, Xbox doesn't lose anything in multi-platform approach. In a recent chat with Gamertag Radio, Adam Boyes, who once led third party relations at PlayStation, shared his thoughts on Microsoft's evolving gaming approach. He highlighted how Xbox is shifting from being just a console maker to becoming a broad entertainment provider. Boys compared this change to how Blockbuster transformed into Netflix. I don't think that's how it worked or how it happened, but okay. He noted that in the past, we would line up early to grab the latest console. Now the focus is on delivering engaging content across various platforms. He also likened PlayStation to HBO, Microsoft to Netflix, and Nintendo to Disney. The goal of these companies is to offer interactive entertainment to as many people as possible. Some folks resist this change, wanting games only on their chosen platform. But Boy's questioned this mindset, asking who's the victim. He believes no one loses the great content becomes more accessible. While he praised Xbox for adapting in a shifting market, Boys acknowledged challenges. As technology advances, the reason to buy new consoles evolves. He wondered about the future value of consoles as gaming becomes more about content than hardware. In another talk, Phil Spencer, Xbox's head, discussed how their consoles fit into the open strategy. He emphasized delivering better games to more players, suggesting that exclusive titles might become less central over time. This shift has sparked debate. Some Xbox fans feel let down as former exclusives like Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones The Great Circle, that was the other one, are announced for PS5. They worry about Xbox losing its unique appeal. However, Spencer assured that their aim is to enhance game experiences and reach more players. He believes that expanding access doesn't diminish the Xbox brand but strengthens it by bringing beloved franchises to a wider audience. In the end, Microsoft's move reflects a broader industry trend. Gaming is becoming more inclusive, focusing on delivering quality experiences to players no matter their platform. While some may cling to traditional console loyalties, the future seems to be about breaking down barriers and embracing a more connected gaming world. I see this as a much more positive thing for Microsoft than this entire mess and disaster of Game Pass Ultimate. I think Ultimate was a mistake. I think creating was effectively a rental service for new video games. Not only destroys the revenue stream of video games and damages developers and companies, but it doesn't incentivize people to play the games all the way through or enjoy the games to the fullest extent. And it's this bite-sized culture that is ruined a lot of games. When you rent a game and you only basically you're limiting yourself. I rent this game effectively. I pay $15 a month for Ultimate. I'm not enticed to play a game through to the end. If the game doesn't intrigue me in the first couple hours, I might not play the rest of it at all. I might miss all this amazing stuff that happens. Imagine someone picking up something like Sekiro or Ghost of Tsushima or Elden Ring and only playing for 40 minutes, deciding that they didn't like the game because it was either too hard or the story wasn't moving fast enough, and they miss out on everything else in the game that's amazing and good. That happens all the time because of Game Pass Ultimate. People just, they're like, oh, I didn't pay for the game, so I don't care about it. When you buy a game, when you pay full price or even a sale price, you're more incentivized to play the game all the way through or to at least give it more of a chance than you are when you pay $15 a month for a broad spectrum of games. But what I see in this is Sony, or not Sony, Microsoft branching out, reaching across the aisle, and expanding their sales even further because their sales are staggering a little bit because of Game Pass Ultimate. When they start releasing titles on other consoles, those are going to be more solid sales than they would be for the people on Ultimate who just rent Forza, play it a little bit, never return. Somebody that picks up Forza on PlayStation might be investing the hours in it that they used to invest in Gran Turismo. Because Forza, as a person who was never huge into racing games but played them, I think Forza outpaced Gran Turismo by Forza 3. Like it was just a better racing game overall, in my opinion. But you have this multi-platform approach. It's just Microsoft looking at the writing on the walls, realizing that they made mistakes with their approach to gaming and that they need to basically scattershot and hope they can hit as many targets as they can because they need to. And I think it's actually a good move by them. I don't know about this nonsense about equating Blockbuster to Netflix or why he would say that. Netflix murdered Blockbuster. It wasn't a transformation on Blockbuster's part. That company was murdered in cold blood, in broad daylight, in the middle of the street. Netflix gave zero fucks about that situation. But Xbox needs this. They need these extra sales. They need to move across the aisles. I hope that PlayStation will also begin to realize that they can increase their sales by reaching across the aisle and releasing things on Xbox. If you had released God of War on Xbox, you would have sold way more units because there are people that don't want to buy a whole new console to play a game. I believe Square Enix is in the talks right now of releasing all of their titles on multiple platforms because of the staggering sales on PlayStation from their remake. They really needed the Fantasy VII remake and whatever the second one was called. I don't know. They need those games to sell millions and millions of copies. They need to make $1 billion on those games to justify their creation. And having them on PlayStation alone or limited PC release wasn't doing it. They really need to be on Xbox too because there are people that will buy them on Xbox because they don't want to buy a PC or because they don't want to have two consoles and have to worry about that. And this is the beginning. I think games are going to be changing the way, or well, companies will be changing the way they releases games, especially if this proves to be a success for Xbox. If they're like, yeah, we sold 2 million copies on day one on Xbox and 1.5 million copies on day one on PlayStation, companies are going to look at that and they're going to go, hey, we should do that too because we want to make as much money as possible. That's the whole point of a company is to make money. If your company isn't making money, then it's a nonprofit company and it's still making money. They're just lying about it. But yeah, I don't know why so many people think that this is a bad move by Xbox. I think it's a great move. I think it's something they've needed to do for a while now because they just refuse to understand that they are shooting themselves in the foot by making what is effectively a new game rental service with Game Pass Ultimate. I think Game Pass Ultimate, one of the worst things they've done. Xbox Live, tremendous. Having Xbox Gold, where like they had various games that were on sale or older titles that wouldn't sell, they offered for free, open people to gaming and entice them to buy more, especially with the gold sales members only. Like if you had a gold membership, you got certain sales and discounts on certain games. That was cool. That worked. That I bought a lot of games through gold. I don't have Ultimate. I'll never have Ultimate. I think it's trash. I think Xbox screwed up and this is them trying to correct and hopefully they do it properly. Hopefully they do it right. Hopefully it helps them. Because I enjoy Xbox. I enjoy their titles. I think they need to have more titles and they need to fund more titles. I think Microsoft Game Studio needs to get off its ass. I think they need to stop buying smaller studios and then shutting them down immediately before they get a chance to make the games that they're working on. And I think gaming is going to start seeing a renaissance because these indie devs are doing much better and they're going to start rising up, and hopefully they won't let Microsoft and Sony or these other big companies like Ubisoft and EA buy them out. Hopefully they'll stand firm and become the new AAA games. And then I don't know, we'll see. I'm getting kind of rambly here. I just wanted to read this story because I've heard a lot of people talking about how Xbox has made a major mistake. I think this is more like 4D chess for Xbox than it is for than it is a major mistake. I think this is good. I think they're getting ahead of the game, and if the sales prove it to be a good move, you might start seeing other companies do it. You'll never see Nintendo do it because the draw of Nintendo is where Nintendo come by the Nintendo. But they might release certain titles. When's the last time Nintendo actually released a Kirby game? If they released a Kirby game and they're like, "Hey, this Kirby game's on Xbox and PlayStation," it could make buku bucks compared to just being on Nintendo. But again, Nintendo is resistant to change. They are more of a buy our console company. We'll see where this goes. You could be looking at the front runner for a whole new era in major title releases, but we'll have to see. That's all I have for this video. Belmont out.